Radio fans, Big Al here on this Monday, July 15th, 2024, and welcome back to my continuing series on the AM and FM radio stations from across the country. And today will be the finale of the Texas reissues as we're looking at the capital city of Austin. Now, I originally did this video back in November 2021, and some things have changed in this Austin radio market over the past couple of years. One locally based radio company is selling off all its assets to a Spanish language programmer. All those Spanish language programs are on those stations right now. They're in the process of being bought outright by this Spanish language broadcaster, and we'll talk about that as Alright, so like, comment, and subscribe to my channel and ring the bell every time I go live for videos just like this. Now let's jump right into the July 2024 reissue of the Austin, Texas radio market. Starting on the AM side of the dial, we've got 590 KLBJ AM Austin, known as News Radio KLBJ. The call letters, of course, stand for former President Lyndon B. Johnson, which once upon a time he and his family owned both KLBJ AM and FM. And I'll talk about that shortly. This is a news talk format affiliated with Fox News Radio, Premier Networks, Westwood One, and local news and weather from Fox owned and operated television station KTBC Channel 7. This is one of the oldest stations in the city, signing on the air on July 2nd, 1939 as the aforementioned KTBC. The station officially became KLBJ AM in 1973. That's when the former president and his family purchased this station. They have a Class B license with the FCC, broadcasting at 5,000 watts during the day and 1,000 watts at night. Studios are located at 8309 North I-35 in Austin, and the 04 Platte Lane. KLBJ AM is owned by Sinclair Telecable Incorporated, which is based in Norfolk, Virginia, but is licensed locally by Waterloo Media Group LP. Programming is relayed on translator station K259AJ 99.7 FM Austin. Up next is KIXL, licensed to the Austin suburb of Del Valle, Texas on 970 AM. This is the Austin affiliate of Relevant Radio, featuring a Catholic talk format affiliated with Relevant Radio. 970 signed on the air as KASE on August 8, 1959. They would become KHFI AM in 1964, KTAP in 1969, and the current KIXL in 1974. They have a Class B license with the FCC, broadcasting at 1,000 watts full-time. Programming originates from Relevant Radio's headquarters in Green Bay, Wisconsin. The transmitter is at 7304 Dauphin Lane in Austin. KIXL is owned and operated by Relevant Radio Incorporated. Programming is relayed on translator stations K280GN 103.9 FM Austin and K286CX 105.1 FM Round Rock, Texas, which is a north side Austin suburb. 1060 is KTSN Lockhart, Texas, known as Sun Radio, featuring an adult album alternative format, as well as Americana music. KTSN signed on as KHRB on March 15, 1967. They would become KCLT in 1973, KHJK in 1983, KFIT in 1988, and KTSN in 2022. They have a Class D license with the Federal Communications Commission, broadcasting at 2,000 watts during daytime hours only. Studios are located at 4020 Manchaca Road, in Austin. Their transmitter is off Old Manor Road in Austin. The owner is Daryl O'Neill, and the station is licensed to Township Media LLC. KTSN's programming is simulcast 24 hours a day on KTSN FM 88.9 Blowout, Texas, KCTI FM 88.1 Gonzales, Texas, KMSN 104.1 FM Mason, Texas, KDRP LP 103.1 FM Dripping Springs, Texas, and on KLZT 107.1 FM HD3 Bastrop, Texas. KDRP LP is owned by Principal Broadcasting Foundation. KLZT HD3 is presently owned by Waterloo Media Group, and all the other stations listed, with the exception of AM 1060, are owned by the Sun Radio Network. Programming is relayed 24 hours a day on translator stations K260CB 99.9 FM San Marcos, Texas, K261DW 100.1 FM Austin, and K295CK 106.9 FM Luckenbach, Texas. KTSN is a daytime-only station and must sign off the air at local sunset on AM 1060. 1120 is KTXW Manor, Texas. It's written as Manor, but it's pronounced Manor, M-A-N-O-R. This station is The Bridge, featuring a Christian talk and teaching format affiliated with the Salem Radio Network. KTXW hasn't been on the air all that long, signing on in 2014. They have a Class B license with the FCC, broadcasting at 5,000 watts during the day and 155 watts at night. Their studios are located at 314 East Highland Mall Boulevard, Suite 250 in Austin. The transmitter is located in Manor, the station's city of license, off Latig Road and Parsons Road. KTXW The Bridge is owned by GLG Media LLC. Programming is relayed on translator station K266CI 101.1 FM Austin. 1260 is KTAE Elgin, Texas. Magia 101.9. Currently playing Spanish classic hits. The station signed on originally in Taylor, Texas on April 1st, 1948, using their current KTAE call sign. They would become KWNX in 2002, KLGO in 2014, and would then return to the KTAE call sign in 2017. They have a Class D license with the FCC, broadcasting at 1,000 watts during the day and 144 watts at night. Studio transmitter is located on North Main Street or Texas State Route 95 in Taylor, Texas. KTAE for now is owned by Genuine Austin Radio LP, but this station will be sold to Spanish broadcaster Norsan Media, pending FCC approval. Programming is relayed on translator station K270CO 101.9 FM in the Austin suburb of Round Rock, Texas. 1300 is KVET AM Austin, known as AM 1300 The Zone, Austin's sports talk. This is a sports talk station affiliated with Fox Sports Radio. They are also the Austin area affiliate of the Houston Texans and the San Antonio Spurs, as well as the Round Rock Express. This is a minor league baseball team in the Pacific Coast League. This is also 1370 is KJCE, Rolling Wood, Texas, known as Talk Radio 1370, The Right Choice. This is a news talk station affiliated with CBS News Radio, Compass Media Networks, Premier Networks, Radio America, and Westwood One, and also serves as the Austin area affiliate for Texas A&M Aggie Sports. KJCE signed on the air in 1948 as KTXN. They would become KOKE AM in 1958, KKM JAM in 1991, KFGI in 1992, and shortly thereafter they would switch to the present day KJCE in 1993. They have a Class B license with the FCC, broadcasting at 5,000 watts during the day and 500 watts at night. Their studios are located at 4301 West Bank Drive, Building B, Suites 350 in Austin. Their transmitter is also in Austin, off of Johnny Morris Road. KJCE, or Talk Radio 1370, is owned by Odyssey Incorporated and licensed by Odyssey License LLC as debtor in possession. Programming is simulcast on KKMJ-FM 95.5 HD2 Austin. 1440 is KELG, Maynard, Texas, known as KELG 1440 AM, featuring a Spanish Christian format. Signing on the air on April 1st, 1980. They have a Class B license with the FCC, broadcasting at 800 watts during the day and 500 watts at night. Studios are located at 9434 Parkfield Drive in Austin. Their transmitter is off of Blake Manor Road in Maynard, Texas. KELG is owned by Encino Broadcasting LLC. Originally, this station was licensed to Elgin, Texas, and then changed its city of license to Manor in 1997. 1490 AM and 96.3 FM Channel 242 broadcasts the same programming. KJFK AM Austin on 1490 broadcasts in high definition. KJFK FM Llano, Texas broadcasts in standard definition. Both stations are branded as 96.3 Jack FM, playing what we want. Both stations broadcast in adult hits format. KJFK AM signed on the air in San Antonio in 1926 as KGDR on 1500 AM. The station would then move from San Antonio to Austin in December of 1929 and become KUT FM. After moving to Austin, the station would undergo 8 call sign changes with 8 sets of call letters until they became KJFK FM, or rather KJFK AM, back in 2022. KJFK FM, which is licensed in Llano, Texas, signed on the air as KTHE on June 17, 2019, so they've only been on the air 5 years now, and then they became KJFK FM in 2022. KJFK AM has a Class C license with the FCC, broadcasting at 1,000 watts unlimited. KJFK FM has a Class C3 license with the FCC, broadcasting at 8,000 watts. Studios for both stations are located at the Hill Country Galleria at 12700 Hill Country Boulevard in the Austin suburb of Bee Cave, Texas. KJFK AM's transmitter, that's 1490. They're located at 307 Tillery Square in Austin. KJFK FM's transmitter, that's 96.3, channel 242, is located at 1376 East Seoul in Cherokee, Texas. Both stations are owned by Township Media, LLC. And a quick note, KJFK FM Llano may be operating with a construction permit 1,000 watts from the same transmitter site in Cherokee. KJFK AM's programming is relayed on translator station K242DE Austin at 96.3 FM. And KJFK AM is the oldest operating station in Austin, having been on the air since 1926 in San Antonio, but broadcasting from Austin since 1929. 1530 is KZNX, Creedmoor, Texas. La Raza, 95.1 y 104.9. This station features a regional Mexican format which signed on the air as KGTN in Georgetown, Texas on December 8, 1962. The station would undergo 4 call sign changes with 4 sets of call letters until they became KZNX in 2004. KZNX has a Class D license with the FCC, broadcasting at 10,000 watts during the day, 1,000 watts during critical hours, and 220 watts at night. Programming is originally network at the Norison Media Studios in Charlotte, North Carolina. And the station operates 2 transmitters. The 10,000 watt day and 1,000 watt critical hours transmitter is off of Doyle Overton Road in Del Valley. The 220 watt nighttime transmitter is located off of Blue Goose Road in Austin. KZNX is owned by America Telecommunications Group Incorporated, and programming is presently being simulcast on KTXX FM 104.9 and HD1, Bee Cave, Texas, and relays on translator station K236AY 95.1 FM in Westlake Hills, Texas. And in rounding out the AM band, we have a simulcast as 15. The same programming. 1560 is KTXZ Westlake Hills. 1600 is KOKE AM Pflugerville, Texas. Both stations are branded as Tejano 1600 and 1560. Both playing Tejano music, which is very, very popular in South Central Texas. KOKE AM Pflugerville signed on the air as KVYK on June 16, 1985. The station would then become KOKE AM in 1995. KTXZ Westlake Hills signed on the air on June 2, 1981. Both stations have Class B licenses with the Federal Communications Commission. KOKE AM Pflugerville on 1600 broadcasts at 5,000 watts during the day and 700 watts at night. KTXZ Westlake Hills on 1560 broadcasts at 2,500 watts. Studios for both stations are located at 9434 Parkfield Drive in Austin. The KOKE 1600 transmitter is located off US 290 in Maynard, Texas, while the KTXZ 1560 transmitter is at 11124 Sprinkle Cutoff Road in Austin. Both stations are licensed by Encino Broadcasting LLC and owned by Encino Broadcasting. KTXZ's programming is relayed on translator stations K231CZ 94.1 FM in Austin. Alright, let's jump over to the FM side of the dial, starting with the traditional non-commercial band. Kicking things off is 88.1 Channel 201, KNLE FM, Round Rock, Texas, known as Candle 88. This station is a religious format featuring Christian music and Christian talk. The station signed on the air on August 6, 1981 as KHCS-FM and became KNLE-FM in 1987. They have a Class A license with the FCC, broadcasting full-time at 3,000 watts. Studios are located at 12703 Research Boulevard, number 222 in Austin. Their transmitter is off of Vision Drive and West Pecan Street in Pflugerville. KNLE-FM, or Candle 88, is owned by pronounce that, it's IXOYE, but I tried, oh well. 88.7 Channel 204 is KAZI Austin, known as KAZI 88.7. This is a community radio station which plays urban contemporary music. They signed on the air on August 29, 1982. They have a Class A license with the FCC, broadcasting at 1,700 watts. Studios are located at 8906 Wall Street, Suite 203 in Austin. Their transmitter is at 1606.5 Barclay Drive in Austin. KAZI is owned by Austin Community Radio Incorporated, and programming is relayed on translator station K217GJ 91.3 FM Austin. Next up on 89.5 Channel 208 is KMFA Austin. They're known as KMFA Classical 89.5. This station features a classical music format, signing on the air on January 29, 1967. They have a Class C1 license with the FCC, broadcasting at 40,000 watts. Studios are located at 41 Navasota Street in Austin. Their transmitter is at the West Austin Antenna Farm at 5319 Buckman Mountain Road in Austin. This is on the tower that's currently shared by KKMJ-FM and other stations in the market. KMFA is owned by Capital Broadcasting. 89.9 Channel 210 is KTSW San Marcos. They're known as KTSW 89.9, the other side of radio. This station features an alternative rock format, signing on the air approximately on January 17, 1992. and nearly a month later, on February 10th, they changed their call letters to the current KTSW. They have a Class C3 license with the FCC, broadcasting at 16,000 watts. The studios and transmitter, in fact, the studios are located on the campus of Texas State University inside the Trinity Building at 203 Pleasant Street in San Marcos. The transmitter is in New Braunfels off of Mickelson Lane. So technically their transmitter is within the San Antonio market. It serves both Austin and San Antonio. I'm not 100% certain of that. KTSW is owned by Texas State University, locally based in San Marcos, and serves San Marcos, Kyle, and New Braunfels. Moving on to 90.5 Channel 213, broadcasting in high definition, KUT Austin. They're known as KUT 90.5, Austin's NPR news station. On 90.5 FM analog and 90.5 FM analog and 90.5 HD1 is the news talk format. On 90.5 HD2 is also a news talk format, the 24/7 feed of the BBC World Service. And 90.5 FM is listed as TMX FM, or the Texas Music Experience, and they play all kinds of things on this station. I looked at their website last week. KUT signed on the air as KUT FM on November 10th, 1958, and then dropped the FM suffix in 1982. They have a Class C1 license with the FCC, Brookman Mountain Road, again on the tower, primarily used by KKMJ-FM. KUT is owned by the Moody College of Communication at the University of Texas at Austin. 91.7 Channel 219 is a timeshare frequency in the Austin area. The first station we'll talk about is KOOP, Hornsby, Texas, 7, featuring a community radio format. They signed on the air on December 17th, 1994. They have a Class A license with the FCC, broadcasting at 3,000 watts. Their studios are located at 3823 Airport Boulevard, Suite B in Austin. That's over by the Austin Bergstrom International Airport. Their transmitter is off of Harold Court and US 183 Toll Road in Austin. KOOP is owned by Texas Educational Broadcasting Cooperative, Incorporated. The station they share time on this frequency is KVRX Austin, also known as 91.7 KVRX, featuring freeform, specialty music, and community programming, as well as sports. KVRX signed on the air on cable exclusively in 1986 and on the radio in 1994. They have a Class A license with the FCC, broadcasting at 3,000 watts, so both stations share the same license. The studios of KVRX are at 2500 Wittis Avenue in Austin. Their transmitter is also shared with KOOP off of Harold Court and US 183 Toll Road, also in Austin. KVRX is owned by the University of Texas at Austin. Alright, as I said, 91.7 is a timeshare frequency in Austin, which is occupied by KOOP Monday through Fridays from 9 a.m. to 7 p.m. Central Time, and Saturday and Sundays from 9 a.m. to 10 p.m. Central Time, while the rest of the time is filled by KVRX. They broadcast on 91.7 from 7 p.m. to 9 a.m. Monday through Friday, and 10 p.m. to 9 a.m. Central Time Saturday and Sunday. KOOP streams online during KVRX's broadcast hours. However, KVRX's broadcasts are via the internet at kvrx.org or on streaming platforms such as iTunes Radio, TuneIn Radio, and the iPhone app. And that is the look. In fact, not yet. We have one more station on the traditional non-commercial band. And it actually shares programming with a station on the commercial band. So we'll look at this. 91.9 channel 220 and 105.9 channel 290 both broadcast the same programming. 91 is KLLR Dripping Springs. 105.9 channel 290 broadcasts in high definition, and that's KFMK Round Rock, Texas. Both stations are a part of the K-Love radio network. On the FM analog signals on both stations and on 105.9 HD1 is contemporary Christian music. On 105.9 HD2 is K-Love 2000s, which is classic contemporary Christian hits from the 2000s. And on KFMK 105.9 HD3 is Radio Nueva Vida, featuring a Spanish contemporary Christian format. KFMK signed on the air on July 7, 1998, while KLLR signed on approximately April 8, 2005 as KLOW and became KLLR the very next year. KFMK 105.9 Round Rock operates with a Class C2 license with the FCC, broadcasting at 4,500 watts. KLLR Dripping Springs operates with a Class A license and broadcasts at 2,000 watts. Programming from both stations are based out of the K-Love headquarters in Rockland, California, which is near Sacramento. The KLLR transmitter is in Dripping Springs, off US 290. The KFMK transmitter is in the West Austin Antenna Farm at 5319 Buckman Mountain Road in Austin on the tower used by KKMJ. Both stations are owned by the Educational Media Foundation, or EMF, and they are both sister stations to our next two stations as we transition into the commercial band on FM. 92.1 channel 221 is KYLR, Hutto, Texas, and they broadcast in standard analog. 92.5 channel 223 broadcasts in high definition, and that's KVLR, Sunset Valley. Both stations are a part of the Air One network. On the FM analog signal on both stations and on 92.5 HD1 is Christian worship music. 92.5 HD2 is Radio Nueva Vida, featuring a Spanish contemporary Christian format, and both are affiliated with Air One. KYLR Hutto, Texas signed on the air as KRGT on May 28, 1980. They would undergo 3 call sign changes with 3 sets of call letters until they became KYLR in 2006. KVLR in Sunset Valley signed on the air in 1992 as KKLV. They would become KXXS in 2007 and the current KVLR in 2012. KYLR Hutto on 92.1 has a Class A license with the FCC, broadcasting at 2,000 watts. KVLR Sunset Valley on 92.5 has a Class C3 license with the FCC, and they broadcast at 4,900 watts effective radiated power. Programming from both stations originates from the K-Love headquarters in Rocklin, California. The KYLR transmitter is at 10,075 Texas Route 29 in Georgetown, Texas. This is a north side suburb of Austin. And the KVLR transmitter is located within Austin city limits at 6400 FM 2244. Both stations are owned by the Educational Media Foundation, or EMF. Translator station K221GC 92.1 FM Austin relays KVLR, while translator station K225CA 92.9 FM Del Valley relays KVLR HD2. And a quick note before we move on, KVLR may be operating under a construction permit from the FCC to maintain its Class C3 non-commercial license and decrease its ERP to 4,000 watts. From KKMJ's transmitter at 5319 Buckman Mountain Road at the West Austin Antenna Farm. This construction permit expires on June 30th, 2026. Moving on to 93.3, channel 227, broadcasting in high definition, KGSR, Cedar Park, Texas. They're known as Latino 93.3 on 93.3 FM analog and 93.3 HD1 is Spanish Top 40 CHR. 93.3 HD2 is a free-form format known as Austin City Limits Radio. And 93.3 HD3 is a dance music format known as The Party. KGSR is affiliated with Premier Networks. This station signed on the air as KLEN-FM in August of 1961, and they had an identity crisis, undergoing 8 call sign changes with 8 sets of call letters until they became KGSR in 2009. They have a Class C license with the FCC, broadcasting at the max 100,000 watts. Studios are located at 8309 North I-35 in Austin. Their transmitter is at 1790 County Road 206 in Bertram, Texas. KGSR is owned by Norfolk, Virginia-based Sinclair Telecable Incorporated and licensed by locally based Waterloo Media Group, LP. Translator station K246BD 97.1 FM Austin relays Austin City Limits Radio on HD2. 93.7 channel 229, broadcasting in high definition, is KLBJ FM Austin. They're known as 93.7 KLBJ, The Rock of Austin. On 93.7 FM analog and 93.7 HD1 is album-oriented rock. 93.7 HD2 is a heavy metal format known as No Control Radio. 93.7 KLBJ is affiliated with Compass Media Networks. The station signed on as KTBC FM in 1960. Named after the television station on Channel 7 in Austin, which at the time was a CBS station, now a Fox-owned and operated station. They have a Class C license with the FCC, broadcasting at 97,000 watts. Studios are located at 8309 North I-35 in Austin. And their transmitter is off of Camino Alto Road, also in Austin. KLBJ-FM, or 93.7 KLBJ, The Rock of Austin, is owned by Sinclair Telecable Incorporated and licensed by Austin-based Waterloo Media Group LP. So this is a sister station to KGSR. 94.7 Channel 234 is KAMX, Luling, Texas. Those not familiar where Luling is, it's about halfway to San Antonio and Austin, located south of Austin and northeast of San Antonio. This station is known as Mix 94.7, featuring a hot adult contemporary format. The station signed on the air on March 22, 1987 as KAPT and would undergo four call sign changes with 3 sets of call letters until they became KAMX in 1995. They have a Class C0 license with the FCC, broadcasting at 99,000 watts, but is bumped to 100,000 watts with a beam tilt. Studios are located at 4301 West Bank Drive, Building B, Suite 350 in Austin. Their transmitter is located within the West Austin Antenna Farm at 5319 Buckman Mountain Road on the KKMJ Tower, and ironically that station is coming up next. KAMX is owned by Odyssey Incorporated and licensed by Odyssey License LLC as debtor in possession, and that makes it a sister station to our next station, which is 95.5 Channel 238, broadcasting in high definition, the aforementioned KKMJ-FM Austin, known as Magic 95.5. On 95.5 FM analog and 95.5 HD1 is adult contemporary for much of the year and Christmas music during the holidays, dubbed as the Magic of Christmas. 95.5 HD2 is the news talk simulcast of Talk 1370 KJCE. And new on 95.5 HD3 is a classic country format known as 95.9 Texas Country. This, of course, replaced the old classic hip-hop format that was on this transmitter or translator. KKMJ-FM signed on as KAZZ as a jazz station on October 30th, 1957. They would become KOKE-FM in 1968, KLQT in 1983, until they became the present-day KKMJ-FM in 1986. They have a Class C1 license with the FCC, broadcasting at 50,000 watts. Studios are located at 4301 West Bank Drive, Building B, Suite 350 in Austin. Their transmitter is at the West Austin Antenna Farm, 5319 Buckman Mountain Road, Austin. Magic 95.5 is owned by Odyssey Incorporated and licensed to Odyssey License LLC as debtor in possession. Translator station K240EL 95.9 FM Austin relays the classic country format on HD3. 96.7 Channel 244 is KHFI FM Georgetown, broadcasting in high definition. They're known as 96.7 KISS FM, Austin's #1 hit music station. On 96.7 FM analog and 96.7 HD1 is Top 40 CHR. 96.7 HD2 is 103.1 Austin's 80s station, which plays nothing but 80s hits. And 96.7 HD3 is Retro. This is a classic hits station. KHFI FM signed on the air as KGTN FM at 96.5 in Georgetown on March 1st, 1972. The station would then move to 96.7 and become KQFX in 1987, and has identified as KHFI FM since 1990. They have a Class C1 license with the FCC, broadcasting at 100,000 watts. Studios are located at 5001 Plaza on the Lake in Austin, with transmitting facilities in the West Austin Antenna Farm at 5319 Buckman Mountain Road in Austin. 96.7 KISS FM is owned by iHeartMedia and licensed by IHM Licenses LLC. Translator station K276EL 103.1 FM Austin relays the 1980s format on HD2. Okay, 98.1 Channel 251, broadcasting in high definition, is a sister station to KHFI, and that's KVET FM Austin, broadcasting in HD as 98.1 KVET. On 98.1 FM analog and 98.1 HD1 is country music with no additional subchannels. And this is the FM flagship home of the Texas Longhorns. They share flagship duties with sister sports station KVET AM. KVET FM signed on the air on March 25th, 1956 as KHFI FM on 98.3. The station would move a click down to 98.1 and become KVET FM with its country format in 1990. They have a Class C1 license with the FCC, broadcasting at 49,800 watts. Studios are located at 5001 Plaza on the Lake in Austin. Transmitter is located within the West Austin Antenna Farm at 5319 Buckman Mountain Road in Austin, on the tower used by Magic 95.5 KKMJ. 98.1 KVET is owned by iHeartMedia and licensed by IHM Licenses LLC. 98.9 Channel 255, broadcasting in high definition, is KUTX Leander, Texas. They're known as KUTX 98.9. On 98.9 FM analog and 98.9 HD1 is Adult Album Alternative. 98.9 HD2 is also Adult Album Alternative, dubbed as the Austin Music Experience. And 98.9 HD3 is a variety format known as the Texas Music Experience. KUTX signed on the air in 1988 as KLTD. They would undergo 4 call sign changes with 4 sets of call letters until they became KUTX when the University of Texas purchased the station in 2013. They have a Class C3 license with the FCC, broadcasting at 1600 watts. Studios are located on the UT Austin campus at 300 West Dean Keaton Street. Their transmitter is in the West Austin Antenna Farm on the KKMJ Tower at 5319 Buttman Mountain Road, also in Austin. KUTX 98.9 is owned by the University of Texas at Austin. Next up, 99.3, Channel 257, KOKE FM, Thorndale, Texas. Also known as Vexacanasima 99.3 or 99.3, featuring a regional Mexican format. The station signed on the air not too long ago on September 30th, 2005 as KLGO. And became KOKE FM in 2012. They have a Class C3 license with the FCC, broadcasting at 24,000 watts. Studios are located at 912 Capital of Texas Highway or Texas State Route 360 in Austin. Their transmitter is located off of FM 470 and FM 498 in Byersville, Texas. Now, if you're wondering what the FM stands for there, it's Farm to Market Road. That's what the FM stands for. KOKE FM is currently owned by Genuine Austin Radio LP, but will be sold to Norson Media pending FCC approval. Programming is simulcast on KTXX 104.9 FM HD3 Bee Cave, Texas, and relayed on translator stations K253AN 98.5 FM FM Valley, Texas, and K300DU 107.9 FM, in Green Shores, Texas. Next up is 100.7 Channel 264, broadcasting in high definition, KASE FM Austin, known as Case 100.7. On 100.7 FM analog and 100.7 HD1 is country music. 100.7 HD2 is an alternative rock format dubbed as Alt 97.5. Affiliations are with Premier Networks, iHeartRadio, and on HD2 Austin FC. That's the local MLS soccer team there. KASE FM signed on the air on March 30th, 1969. They have a Class C0 license with the FCC, broadcasting at 100,000 watts. Studios are located at 5001 Plaza on the Lake in Austin. Their transmitter is located off of North Capital of Texas Highway or Texas State Route 360 within the West Austin Antenna Farm. KASE or Case 100.7 is owned by iHeartMedia and licensed by IHM Licenses LLC. Translator station K248CU 97.5 FM Austin relays the alternative rock format on HD2 and is also the flagship station for Austin FC of the MLS. 101.5 Channel 268 is KROX FM Buda, Texas. They're known as 101X Alternative Austin, featuring an alternative rock format, signing on the air as KGID in Giddings, Texas on November 13th, 1984. The station would become KOKE in 1990 and KROX FM in 1995. The station's city of license would be switched from Giddings to Buda in the early 2000s. And that move was made for the station to begin broadcasting in the immediate Austin area. They have a Class C2 license with the FCC, broadcasting at 12,500 watts. Studios are located at 8309 North I-35 in Austin. Their transmitter is off of North Capitol of Texas Highway or Texas State Route 360 within the West Austin Antenna Farm. 101X Alternative Austin is owned by Sinclair Telecable Incorporated and licensed by Austin-based Waterloo Media Group LP. 102.3 Channel 272 broadcasting in high definition is KPEZ Austin. 102.3 The Beat. On 102.3 FM analog and 102.3 HD1 is Rhythmic Top 40, which is pretty much hip hop. 102.3 HD2 is a top 40 dance station aimed at the LGBTQ+ community known as Pride Radio. KPEZ signed on the air as KMXX on August 13, 1976, and became KPEZ in 1982. They have a Class C2 license with the FCC, broadcasting at 26,000 watts. Their studios are located at 5001 Plaza on the Lake in Austin. The transmitter is in suburban Sunset Valley, off of Brody Lane in the Sunset Valley Nature Area. 102.3 The Beat is owned by iHeartMedia and licensed by IHM Licenses LLC. Okay, we only have 6 stations left until we reach the end. 103.5 Channel 278 broadcasting in high definition is KBPA Austin. They're known as 103.5 Bob FM, playing what we feel like. On 103.5 FM analog and 103.5 HD1 is Adult Hits. 103.5 HD2 is an all sports format known as ESPN 102.7. 103.5 HD3 is Bob's Christmas channel, which plays 24/7 Christmas music. KBPA signed on the air as KRML on June 1st, 1971 at 103.7. They would become KCSW in 1976, KEYI in 1982. They would then add the FM suffix to that call sign in 1986 until they became KBPA in 2004. The station would move to San Marcos license 103.5 FM in 1983, and then the station recently changed the call sign, or rather the city of license, from San Marcos to Austin in 2021. They have a Class C1 license with the FCC, broadcasting at 46,000 watts. Studios are located at 8309 North I-35 in Austin. Their transmitter is located on the tower of Fox-owned and operated television station KTBC-TV Channel 7 at 1811 Mount Larson Road in Austin. KBPA, or 103.5 Bob FM, is owned by Sinclair Telecable Incorporated and licensed by Austin-based Waterloo Media Group LP. Translator station K274AX 102.7 FM Austin relays the ESPN radio format on HD2. Moving on to 104.3 Channel 282, broadcasting in high definition, KLQB, Taylor, Texas. La que buena, 104.3. On 104.3 FM analog and 104.3 HD1 is regional Mexican music. 104.3 HD2 is TUDN Radio, which is Sports in Espanol, or as they would say, Deportes. KLQB signed on the air on June 26, 1998 as KQBT. They used 3 different call letters, including KPLE FM, KPLE, and KKIK during the station's construction permit. But upon sign-on, the station would become KQBT 3 more times. In 2004, they became KOYT. The following year, they became KXBT, and they've identified as KLQB since 2007. They have a Class C2 license with the FCC, broadcasting at 4,800 watts. Studios are located at 2233 West North Loop Boulevard in Austin. Their transmitter is at 2175 County Road 460 in Coupland, Texas. KLQB, or K Buena 104.3, is owned where are you? By the Euphoria Audio Network and licensed by Univision Radio Illinois Incorporated. 104.9 Channel 285, broadcasting in high definition, is KTXX FM, Bee Cave, Texas. La Raza 95.1 y 104.9 on 104.9 FM analog and 104.9 HD1 is regional Mexican music. 104.9 HD2 is Leyendas 98.5, which is regional Mexican oldies. 104.9 HD3 is the simulcast of the regional Mexican format heard on KOKE 99.3 FM. And on HD4 is Romantica 105.3, featuring a Spanish CHR format. KTXX signed on the air in Llano, Texas as KFFQ in 1984. The station would undergo 5 call sign changes with 5 sets of call letters and became KTXX FM in 2009 with their former sports format known as The Horn. KTXX has a Class A license with the FCC, broadcasting at 3,200 watts. Studios are located at 912 Capital of Texas Highway in Austin, which is also known as Texas State Route 360. Their transmitter is at 8835.5 West Texas State Route 71, also in Austin. KTXX is owned by Genuine Austin Radio LP for the time being, but is operated by Norsan Media. The station will be sold to Norsan pending FCC approval. Translator station K253AN 98.5 FM Sunset Valley relays the regional Mexican oldies format on HD2. And translator station K287FG 105.3 FM Austin relays the Spanish CHR format on HD4. Alright, we've already talked about 105.9 earlier, so we're going to jump all the way up. 107.1 FM analog and 107.1 HD1 is regional Mexican. Their H2 subchannel is currently silent, while 107.1 HD3 is a Spanish Christian format known as Kyla Radio 106.5. KLZT signed on the air as KLIO FM in 1986. Later that year, they would become KSSR. They would then become KGSR in 1989. And 20 years later in 2009, they would become the present day KLZT. They have a Class C2 license with the FCC, broadcasting at 49,000 watts. Studios are located at 8309 North I-35 in Austin. Their transmitter is at 488 Mesa Drive in Del Valle, Texas. KLZT, or La Zeta 107.1, Número Uno para Éxitos, is owned by Sinclair Telecable Incorporated and licensed by Austin-based Waterloo Media Group LP. Translator station K293BF 106.5 FM, licensed to the Austin suburb of Comanche Trail, relays the Spanish Christian format on HD3. And the final station on the list is 107.7 channel 299, broadcasting in high definition, KLJA Georgetown, also known as Amor 107.7 on 107.7 FM analog and 107.7 HD1 is Latin pop with no additional subchannels. KLJA was founded on January 3rd, 1989 and first signed on officially on October 31st, 1991 as KNNC. The station would undergo 4 call sign changes with 4 sets of call letters until they became KLJA in 2009. They have a Class C3 license with the FCC, broadcasting at 10,500 watts. Studios are located at 2233 West Loop North Boulevard in Austin. Their transmitter is at 155 Carlson Cove in Georgetown, the station's city of license. KLJA Amor 107.7 is owned by the Euphoria Audio Network and licensed by Univision Radio Illinois Incorporated. And that is the fourth of the 4 largest Texas markets, wrapping up here with the Austin radio station's reissue. As we're headed back to Florida to reissue both the Miami Fort Lauderdale and Tampa St. Petersburg markets. Those will be coming soon, so be on the lookout for that. I've already started working on the Miami reissue, so I hope to have that up in the next coming week, so stay tuned. In the meantime, like, comment, and subscribe to my channel, ring the bell, and get notified every time I go live. Big Al signing off. Thanks for watching, and happy listening. Peace out.